Okay.
Okay.
All right, well, let's see how this works. Okay. So, what I want to do is spend a few minutes talking about the course, okay? And then we will get started with actually doing the course, all right? So first of all, just a reminder to all of you, this is leadership. Want to make sure you're in the right place. Anybody ever get on the wrong airplane? I got on the wrong airplane once. It was a shuttle, and I was from New York to Washington or something, and it was there, but it wasn't the one I was supposed to be on. So some guy comes in and says, "That's my seat," one of those things. Well, he was right. I got up and left. So you want to make sure you're in the right class, okay? So I think I recognize everybody. So far, so good. Right? Recognize everybody there. Okay. This is a 3-credit course. And even though leadership is not very well defined, and it would be easy for this to be a course that you could just kind of sleep through, that is not my plan for you. Okay, this is a busy course, and we're doing it over 3 weeks. So 3 credits over 3 weeks has to be quite a number of hours, and it's a serious effort. Okay, there are a lot of assignments to do, and there is a huge amount of reading if you choose to do it all. Have you looked into Moodle to see how much reading there is? So just to sort of introduce this as an issue, you can read an infinite amount of information on leadership. We're going to talk about leadership, of course, in a few minutes, but you can just go on and on with it. So I have attempted to find things for you to read and to also give you a library, because this stuff really doesn't change. It's not like coronavirus where every day is different, all right? So read as much of it as you can, but if you can't read all of it, you'll at least, I think we lost them.
Yeah, I think it's our connection is not good.
Wait a sec. Yeah.
Let's see.
Also, interconnection, or maybe it's better to turn off the
Okay, if I have to, yeah. Okay, so now we need to connect first of all.
You see there's a green button that says join call? Looks like Bear may be still in the call. Join in.
Thank you. Okay, are you there? Okay, good. I see Kayla. Talia, you there? Well,
I'm here.
okay, good, all right. And,
Where's Kevin?
He's there, he just joined now.
okay, good.
And Kayla, I think she just turned off the
Just turn off the sound, yeah, that's fine.
Katie's not there.
I think you can click on your video and then it would expand it. Oh.
But what do you want to see?
Me? You get tired of seeing me. Think about me. Okay. Can someone say hello from our distant sites here? Let's just make sure we're connected. Maya, are you there? Can you say hello?
I'm here, hi.
Okay, good. All right, Tevin, are you there? Luba, are you there?
Yeah, hello.
All right, good. Maya, are you there? Did I ask you already?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So is Tevin the only one who's not connected? Well, maybe he's coming on. Let's see.
Oh, and Katie.
Okay, so
Katie's here now.
Katie is here. And let's see. It's because nobody's saying anything. Do you hear me now? Do you hear me?
Maybe she muted her speaker.
Okay. Katie, do you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Alright, good. Okay. Cyber stuff is great, except when it doesn't work, which is like now, okay? Alright, good. Okay, let me go on and hopefully, Tevin, are you there?
Yeah, you keep like breaking up. Like I'm hearing like every single word.
Okay, well, I'm not saying much yet. Let's see so Tevin is next. Okay, there he is, okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. Katie, you hearing me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Alright. Okay, so let's go back and at least take a couple minutes and talk about leadership, okay? Then we'll go back to cyberspace. Okay, so I've given you all this stuff to read, and you may very well not get a chance to read it all now, but you have it. And sometime or other, you'll know it's there and you may choose to read it. I would encourage you to read as much as you can, but you may not have time. Okay, try to read as much as you can, but I understand, right? Okay.
You are going to say to us which reading for which day, or it's like general reading for the whole course?
In the syllabus,
It says.
it tells you what you should read for when. It doesn't matter too much, but it tells you, okay? Now, just before we talk about the assignments and a couple other things, there are 2 books you're supposed to read, okay? The Primal Leadership book, and Daphne has passed that out to most of you, yes? I have 2 more copies. Does anyone need a copy? Okay, so I have them at home. I'll get them to you.
No, too late, Evan, too late. Too late.
All right. Okay, now has anyone finished the copy that they've read?
I am like in the half of the book. I can let you
Okay,
know.
so those of you who have a copy, please try to finish it in the next week. It shouldn't take long to read, okay? So that we have enough, because we need 3 more. Yeah?
According to Kindle, it takes 15 hours to read.
15 hours?
Maybe it's on my pace, I don't know.
Come on.
That's not bad.
No, it's not like that.
It took me way more than that.
Yeah,
Did it?
yeah. The first part for me is kind of hard to follow.
Was
I
it?
am in the middle one and it's more interesting, but the first one it was really hard to focus.
Okay, well, as you finish, for those of you who have them, try to get it done within, let's say, the next week. You have a luxurious day tomorrow with Purim, okay? And so that we can get them to the other people, okay? So, okay. Connection lost. If any of you can hear me, who are distant, can you please let me know?
It's strange because it worked.
This morning?
Yeah.
For the same
It's
number?
our internet, not theirs.
Yeah, could well be. Okay, so I think what we should try to do is audio, yeah?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
We could maybe do a WhatsApp video group call, and then just like point the phone at you. And
Okay,
then we'll just use like the phone data or something.
I would first try without video. Just first.
so invite more people, I don't need to do that.
And if we call without video call, like
Or we can just stream live on Facebook.
try it.
But if the internet is not good, why will that work though?
No, but
No.
it's not that we're not gonna use the Wi-Fi, we're just gonna use the phone data.
My phone has bad reception here. This morning it was.
Mine has good reception.
I don't have internet here.
My old phone had really good reception, now it doesn't.
Yeah, iPhone, that's what I have.
It's weird.
Yes, it's here.
Okay, now, if everybody is back, which I think they are, I'm going to close the video and let's see if the audio works. Okay, everybody? Because I'm not gonna look too much different 5 minutes from now than I do now, right? And you just need to hear what I have to say, okay? So let me do that. Okay. Now, Katie, I see you,
Yeah.
you. Katie, do you hear me?
I'm just muted so that like you don't hear other noise in the background, but I hear you.
Okay, good, good.
Turn off the video.
Turn off your video.
We don't want to see you.
Too bad, okay? It's nice to see you, Katie, but, all right. Tevin, do you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay, good. Maya, you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay, good. Okay, Tali, you there?
Okay.
All right, good. Luba? Luba, you there?
She just Luba left.
Okay, we're gonna just keep going here and see what happens, right? Because everybody else can, and she'll come back in, I hope. Okay. All right, so now the second book, I have a whole bunch of copies of, and when you're ready for them, either let me know or Daphne. They're in my office here, okay? And we have another class. We don't have class tomorrow, but on Thursday we have class. And for people who are ready for it, I can give you that. It's a short book, but for me, I'm saying it's pretty quick to read. It shouldn't be any harder to read than Primal Leadership. It may take you about the same amount of time. Okay, but it's good. I think it's a good book, and that book is for the second half of the course. Okay, now let's talk about assignments. It's all in syllabus. I have probably the longest syllabus of any course, right? So it's all here. You just have to read it and look at it, right? So the first assignment that you have is to do a leadership presentation. So what you need to do is pick a leader and tell us about that leader. It can be anybody. It doesn't have to be a famous person. It can be somebody important to you. Most people pick somebody famous because they're interested, okay? Whether it's Indira Gandhi or Nehru or Nelson Mandela, Churchill, okay? All right? You can pick whoever you want. It'd be nice if we don't have the same people presented twice, but if you want to, it's okay too. So you can just decide who you want. Now, what you have is 15 minutes. Try to make it 15 minutes and not longer. That's important to learn how to time your presentations. And tell us something about this person, who they were, because even if they're famous to you, they may not be famous to everyone. Some people may not even know who Churchill was, okay? But be ready to describe their story and then talk about their leadership strengths and weaknesses. Okay? And what you're going to learn over the next few classes are different models of describing leaders and their strengths and weaknesses. And everyone has strengths and everyone has weaknesses. I think the only exception to that is me. I don't have any weaknesses. Just don't ask my wife, okay? You're going to see her soon, okay? So everyone has strengths and weaknesses, and we're going to spend probably more time talking about weaknesses than we are strengths, because the strengths you already have, okay? The weaknesses you have too, but your weaknesses you can deal with. Goldman talks a lot about your weaknesses as well. How do you deal with the things that you're not very good with? And the argument that we believe, and this is why I want you to read Goldman, people particularly at your age can change. if you understand what you're weak with, okay, and again, later today, we're gonna talk about one whole philosophy of leadership, and by definition, those people who have a vision of the future are not particularly practical. And those people who are practical don't have a very good vision of the future, and how do you deal with that? Understanding, the first thing you need to do is just understand where you are and what your strengths and weaknesses are. Okay, and then you begin to accommodate, either by changing yourself or hiring people who have your skills. Who have the skills you don't have. Hiring people whose strengths are your weaknesses. Okay? And if you're organized, you can do this. This is what you should be doing. Okay? Now, so you're going to, and you'll see as you start with the course here, you'll start learning about the Myers-Briggs personality and the Jacobi and the Freudian and the Goldman personalities. And so as you do your presentations, you'll begin to choose to describe these people in the terms that we learn about. You'll see. Okay? So you do that 15-minute presentation, usually a PowerPoint presentation. Make it interesting, keep us interested, and you get a grade. And I think, 25% of your grade is based on that presentation. Okay? All right, that's assignment number 1. Assignment number 2, I know you're all disappointed I've canceled. Okay? Because we're going to be doing work on the coronavirus, and you're going to have some efforts to do there, and Professor Green and I decided that if you're doing that work, then we'll give you a little bit of relief from this. So this is an assignment you don't have to do. Okay? Item 3, we are going to do, this class, I give a few lectures or presentations, but there's a lot of case discussions that we're going to do. Okay? And one of the things we're going to do is an interprofessional exercise, where your responsibilities will be to represent not yourselves as public health, but for those of you who have other professions, to look at this as a physician, as a psychologist, so forth, okay? Nutrition. It's a case about influenza, right? So this is an assignment you have to do for that one class. It's a 1-page assignment, okay? You have to send it afterwards so you can read about it, right? Then you have a take-home assignment, I guess 2 of them, okay? And I'm not going to read through them, but these are things you need to send to me, on the schedule that you have to do it.
Are those assignments already on Moodle?
It's in the syllabus.
They,
So, yes.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then you have to do a Goldman Emotional Intelligence Domains Self-Assessment Form. And if I haven't provided that for you, I will. There's no grade for that. There's no right or wrong for it. Again, this is about defining your strengths and weaknesses. Okay? And you just have to give that to me. That's all. It's for you. You need to sit down and look and say, what am I good at and what am I not good at? And give that to me. Okay? You only give it, I don't really care, and I don't necessarily even look at them. I just need to see that you've done it. It requires some introspection. Okay? Then there's a quiz, and there's an exam. The quiz is pretty short. The quiz questions are very similar to the exam questions. That's the reason to take the quiz, is to see the kinds of things I expect you to know. And if you look in the syllabus, you can see 3 questions that are examples, so that you already can begin to look and see. Okay? All right. Please read over the syllabus carefully so you see what's going on, and if you have questions, let me know. All right? Now, in the syllabus are times for presentations, right? So they start, I guess, next week, and I would like to know if people want to do them early in the course, middle of the course, or at the end of the course. So I'm giving you a form, and for those of you who are connected by hearing me, okay, and not here in class, send me an email, please, okay? And now, they can see me, right? No, they can't.
No,
They can't see me, okay, sorry. So just, for those who are in class, just give me your name. Do you want early, middle, or late presentation? Is there a particular day you would like to do it? Is there a particular day to avoid? If you don't know, it's okay.
Is it just gonna be like for the whole class, like together when you present it, or?
You're presenting it to the whole class, okay? And if you look at the syllabus, you'll see there are times assigned. Okay?
And we're gonna go over today about the assessing whether like what's the strength of the leader and the weaknesses of the leader.
We'll be doing that over a period of sessions, a few sessions, yeah. Okay? Okay. Now, it says connection lost.
Yeah, just want to know.
So, I'm going to
Yeah, just remember that.
join the call.
It's always another week, so it's not really, all of them are early in the semester. I wanna try to get more specific, so I need to check on she's available.
Okay, I think we have rejoined together, by audio.
The order that all the attacks.
So I'm gonna keep going, okay? Okay, now, let's talk in principle about leadership, just a little bit, and soon we'll do this first presentation. And I hope,
I think I'll call them.
yeah, why don't you try,
Yeah.
okay?
maybe we can each call someone, without video, I mean, only, to have the
Yeah, but
noise.
then you can have it in like all ones, that's what I'm doing, I'm opening a
Yeah,
group
but
WhatsApp.
that's going to consume a lot of internet or Wi-Fi. Okay,
It's okay with me. So we have 7, and then,
Maya?
it works in morning.
I know that's really important to work.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna see, if any of you can hear us, Dee is going to try to connect to all of you.
They can't hear it.
You can't hear?
No.
No,
Is
right?
it still says no internet connection on the top.
Yeah, no, something is wrong with
Do you have, where do you see your Wi-Fi? Yeah, somewhere there. Yeah, that's the issue.
I'm just connecting the Wi-Fi so we can use that.
But this morning I tried to do a WhatsApp call on the Wi-Fi here and they said it could.
I can only do 3 participants of video call or calls.
16, 17.
So can someone do like a WhatsApp call? So I have Katie and Kayla
I can call
and
Maya.
and Luba has declined.
I will call Maya.
Okay.
19, 24.
Kayla is not answering.
23rd. 17, 19, 23,
Our
24.
video.
Wait, guys, they're gonna call you on WhatsApp. I'm gonna call this number. Oh, wait, now she's recording.
23, 24.
I think you're correcting.
What means I did the last one? I didn't look at the letters.
Okay, I see,
No.
Oh wait, no, you should not do like that. Just a second, Luba.
Shocking. I won't listen.
Okay,
Good on the side.
There's multiple.
I have
We're-
to do it again. Wait.
should wait, me?
No, all the people.
After the other class, but it worked pretty well with the last class.
Okay.
The 19.
Wait, I cannot do so many things.
Hey, try to.
Okay, so I have like Katie, Luba, and Kayla. Can you guys pick up?
It's only 23.
I know, I think I'm
Yeah,
Yes,
okay,
can
cool.
you listen to me? Okay, I put the phone.
Did they hang up on Skype?
Yeah, if you're connected on WhatsApp, hang up on Skype. And if you're not connected, then stay on Skype, okay?
Wait.
Yeah, I will put a
Maybe we
pic.
can add. I'll write about my dad.
So, we
I will
have
put the camera on.
Talia and Maya on Skype.
Yeah,
but we're just
we're missing Talia and Maya.
I was trying to.
Yeah, I have Talia and Maya here.
List of weaknesses.
But that's okay, let's see if we can keep connected with them. Do we have Kevin?
We're trying to connect with Kevin.
Okay.
Maya. Kevin is there.
I added Talia.
It's connecting, but I don't know why it's not working with Maya.
Well, Maya's fine, because I got her here. Hi,
Ah, okay,
Maya.
right. So I don't want to hang up. So is Maya here? I don't.
So, we don't want two connections. Everybody see Maya?
We really see her.
Maya, you're the only one on the screen, you're bigger than life, okay?
I'm teaching the rest of the lecture, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Here, they're all,
So I know that's not my goodness.
you see them all here?
Hi, everybody.
Right. Okay.
I don't feel like I'm really there.
You feel like you're there? Good. I don't feel like I'm here, so it's all right. No, I am.
I'm gonna turn my video off now.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now, do we have everybody?
What happened? What happened, Seven?
It's just reconnecting.
Oh,
May-
okay.
Maybe we see the
Maybe because
camera.
of the Wi-Fi. Maybe disconnect the Wi-Fi.
I don't have Wi-Fi on.
Does someone have something else that's not Golan Telecom?
Oh, there's Kevin. Okay, he's with me. Okay,
Okay.
Kevin, you're here.
Mine,
So
19.
don't try to connect with him.
Yeah,
Let's
but
see
then
how we do.
Talia couldn't.
There's also Talia.
Wait, no, wait, hold on.
Maybe just call
You're doing
Talia.
17.
Fuck.
No, I'm just correcting.
I don't want to read the messages.
It's okay.
Okay,
What's, it's off, the
I
call?
think we have Maya and Kevin
Talia.
Okay.
Call Talia.
and, Talia is missing in action. Is that correct? Let's see. You are, okay, good, let's try it, alright, good. Okay, so we're back connected, I think, to everybody. I am, just so everybody knows, for you at a distance, I do have a video camera, and I'm video recording all this. I will, it's probably not gonna be a great video, but,
It will be because
it'll
I'm here.
be maybe usable, and my goal is to upload it on YouTube tonight, so you can, anybody can have the pleasure of seeing this all over again.
Nice.
Okay. I think this is how the United States government is handling coronavirus. We'll talk about it Wednesday, okay? Not too well organized, but we're trying. Okay, alright, back to leadership. Ready? Now,
Oh, sorry.
what you're gonna learn from this next number of classes is that there are all sorts of different ways to characterize leadership. It's a whole field. And the first thing we're gonna do is talk about one style of characterizing leadership, characterized by a psychologist named Carl Jung. And the first lecture I'm gonna do, we've already done. I'm gonna do it again, okay? and we're gonna talk about it. And then we're gonna talk about how Freud defined leadership, and then we're gonna talk, as I've said before, about